Sun's getting really bright. Hey guys, welcome to today's video. It's not a normal makeup video, but if you guys follow me on Instagram, then you'll know that I post regularly on my stories updating you guys about my houseplant. So while I do love makeup, and that is one part of me that I show here on my YouTube channel because that's what my channel is about, there is another layer of me where I am really super into houseplants, as you can already see just by the place where I'm sitting right now. That's what today's video is. I'm just going to be showing you guys through my house and giving you a tour and showing you, not a tour of the house specifically, but I'm going to be showing you my houseplant collection. I've had several requests on my Instagram to show you guys in a video here on YouTube, like one full video, a complete houseplant collection. Well, I'm not going to say complete because it's constantly growing, not just growing new leaves, but growing as in quantity. I love my houseplants. I will always keep an eye out and look out for some bargain plants, and I always just love to have them near me, close to me. I just find that having houseplants is really comforting to have them around. There's something living to take care of, and it's just so rewarding when they thrive and they grow and they give me new leaves and all that. So those of you who are houseplant lovers, this video is for you. I will continue on with my normal makeup content throughout the month, and throughout the month of August I am actually going to do my absolute very best to get some Halloween makeup looks out for you guys, but I'm not exactly going to be promising anything too phenomenal or out there as far as makeup looks go, because I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I want to do a life update video sooner or later, but I'm not quite ready to do that just yet. But long story short, I have absolutely no inspiration or motivation to sit down for 5 to 6 hours and film a Halloween makeup look, much less edit it for another 8 hours. So I'm gonna try and do something because I do want to get some Halloween looks out for you guys, but it's not going to be anything like last year. Maybe, but maybe not. Who knows? I might find some inspiration, pluck it out of my pocket or something. I don't have pockets. Point made. Anyway, let's get into this video. I'm going to be showing you guys my houseplants. Okay, so we are going to start here in my lounge room. This is what my lounge room currently looks like, and this is the whole display of plants that I've got. That's not actually a plant. Those are just some gum tree branches that I took from the side of the road and just put in a pot to decorate. But let's just start from here. This is a peace lily. Not my favorite plant. This was actually Nick's plant, but it just kind of exists. It doesn't really grow or thrive, but it doesn't exactly die either. Not really my favorite plant, but it's there. It exists. And from that plant, I took this smaller plant as well. So I kind of separated it and made one smaller plant here. This is exactly the same. Like, it doesn't super grow or thrive, and it's not for lack of taking care of it or feeding it either. It's just the kind of plant. Maybe it's just a really slow growing plant. This is just a little strip that I've got that I use to catch the gnats, which are really super annoying, but they're quite effective in catching quite a fair few gnats as well. So that's a little peace lily. This one here is a bit of a recent addition to my plant collection. I got this from a local nursery which is close by. I really love it here in this corner. I'm not sure if it's gonna stay there because it doesn't get a whole lot of light, but it's been there for about 2 weeks now, and I feel like if it wasn't happy in this spot, it would definitely begin to have already started to show signs that it isn't happy. So like it looks like exactly the day that I bought it, except for some new growth up the top here. I actually really super love this plant. This one is let's see what this one is. This one, focus. This one is a Rafitifora Tetrasperma. Now, I know all these plants that I'm going to be showing you in today's video have scientific names or their botanical names. I'm not going to show you their botanical names. I don't know what all of them are called, but I'm just going to show them to you. This one is a ZZ plant. Also not very fast growing, but this one is really super easy to take care of. You hardly ever need to water it, and it thrives in lower light. Up here is a Hartley Philodendron. This one is fairly new to my collection, and it's got new little leaf growth right there coming out as well. But I love the way it looks on this shelf. Just a simple white pot, beautiful green leaves. Moving over here to the right is a devil's ivy or a golden pothos. This one is really super easy to take care of. This one I actually propagated from a larger mother plant that I have, and I just stuck a whole heap of cuttings into the pot, and it seems to be thriving and living the life quite well. It also thrives in a bit of a lower light situation that this bookshelf is. All right, over here I have a red Congo Philodendron, I believe it is. This one I bought from Woolies, and it didn't have a tag and it was really small when I got it. This one I've kind of struggled with. Like, as you can see, there's a few speckles on the leaves, and when I first got it I didn't really know how to take care of it. This is one of the first plants that I ever got, but now it's kind of started to thrive and put out some beautiful new leaves, and these are the older leaves. It's got little spots in them, but they stopped spreading, so hopefully the rest of the plant, it will thrive. I actually had to cut this back a fair bit because of a lot of the leaves had those little spots on them, but since then it started to actually thrive and grow and actually look really beautiful for me, so really love that one. Down here is another peace lily. This is actually another sister of that mother plant and that plant there. This one is another plant that I took off. It's exactly the same. Peace lilies are not my favorite plants. They just don't really seem to give me much love. So you know what? They can just sit there and not receive much love back. This one is a silver sword philodendron. I'm pretty sure that's what it's called. This one is a recent one in my collection. I absolutely love the leaves. Like, look at these leaves. So beautiful, so stunning. Absolutely love them. This one is a fairly fast grower as well. Most philodendrons are. This one is since coming out with a new leaf right there. So pretty, but it's only a little one. But that's okay. Like, I don't mind the little plants. They're good for little areas like this. But look how beautiful and glossy and just stunning that foliage is. So pretty. All right, this one is a Ponytail Palm. This is also a recent addition to my collection. I just wanted something nice in the corner there, something structural, something that didn't need a super large amount of light or care. So I got it the same time as that tree over there. So this one is a Ponytail Palm, absolutely beautiful. I haven't managed to kill it yet. There's a little leaf there that's kind of dry, but you do lose leaves here and there. So that's a Ponytail Palm. This one is a Xanadu Philodendron. Now, this one I got it on discount at Bunnings Warehouse, and this one I've kind of been struggling with to kind of get it to give me some new growth, but finally it's given me a lot of new growth. There's some little leaves popping up in the midst of it there. This one I've had to treat fair few times for aphids or just like little bugs, or I don't know. It's not one of those plants that I'm super in love with, but now that I've managed to get it to give me back a little bit of foliage and leaves and growth and love, I'm actually starting to love it. It's looking a lot better than it did when I first got it from Bunnings. Yeah, if you, it's just a suggestion to you guys, if you are starting out as a plant lover, I would definitely recommend to invest in a healthy plant rather than smaller plants that just give you a bit of headache and just like, it's just sitting there and doesn't give you much, you know, joy. Just better to buy a fully grown established plant that is definitely going to give you joy from the get-go. This one didn't. It was a bit of hard work getting it to look as good as it does now, but you know what, it looks all right there. I don't know if it's going to live there or stay there, but it looks all right. All right, moving over here, I have an elephant's ear allocation. Now this one was actually a really interesting story. Well, it wasn't really interesting, but later on you'll see a really large alocasia elephant's ear that I've got in the corner in the dining room. And this was one little plant that I had separated from the larger one. That was the original leaf. This one here. Will you please focus? All right, that was the original leaf, and it just died off. It completely died. There was nothing. It was a leaf just hanging down dead, and I procrastinated to cut it. I just left it. I didn't really worry about it. It looked like this pot in that corner sitting with a dead leaf. It looked horrible, but the universe knew. God knew. He knew that this leaf was gonna pop out from it. It just all of a sudden one day I saw this one come out from nowhere, and I was like, oh my goodness, there's a new little baby leaf coming out of there. So I'm so glad I didn't chop it down all the way or throw it out or get rid of it, because it was still alive. All right. In the corner there, I have just like a succulent. I don't know. It's kind of just existing there. It doesn't really do very much. I kind of forget that it's there sometimes. All right, over here, I'm so in love with this Peperomia. This one Let's move it into the light. This one is a Peperomia Mendoza. Look how stunning this foliage is. This one kind of feels like a succulent almost, but it's definitely a lot prettier than succulents, I feel. I'm not really super into succulents, but this Peperomia is stunning. I love Peperomias. I've got another variety down here. This one is a Pepperomia Brasilia. I think that's how you say it. And the foliage on this one is stunning, and it's actually starting to give me a couple little flowers there. There's one. Here's another flower down there. So pretty. I love these plants. I've got a few more varieties in the bedroom, as you'll see later on. And then here on the table, here on the coffee table, I have a Tradescantia, I think it is. Tradescantia? How do you say this? Yeah, that's what it is, a spiderwort. The foliage on this one is absolutely stunning. It almost kind of sparkles in the sun. Can you guys see? Can it focus, please? It's not quite sunny right now in the lounge room, but if you look at the leaves right there, it's so sparkly, so cute. I love this plant. It's just sitting here on my coffee table. Here on my coffee table, I have a few books just to style. These two I got from Kmart, and these two I got from a local bookshop, but you can find these on Amazon or just like online anywhere. Plant style and plants for small spaces. And I had a big plant here, another Tradescantia plant, but it's being bottom watered at the moment. So those are all the plants in my lounge room. Now let's move into the dining room. All right, you guys are gonna have to excuse that my dining room and kitchen is a little bit of a mess, but this one is a Monstera, a mini Monstera. I think that's what its name is. I think its proper name is a Rafitifora Tetrasperma. I'm actually quite pleased with myself that I remember that. I actually got this plant from our local Sunday market, which has been closed down because of the coronavirus. It has grown a fair bit. When I bought it, it was like up to here, but it's grown this much since I got it, and that was only like 3 months ago, something like that. This is another one of those plants where I wasn't quite sure about the care of it, and I was just kind of like fumbling along, and so I lost some leaves, and these ones look a little bit sad and like motley and faded. But since I put it here in the middle of my dining table, every single plant that I put here in the middle of my dining table, it thrives, and it started to give me all of this growth here. And it must be because there's a big window of light, and it's actually fairly quite warm all the time here in this spot. Also got a little gnat sticker there. All right, before I go to the window, let's go to these shelves up here. All right, so these shelves up here are some of my favorite spots in my house. They're just so pretty, just a nice little styling moment. This one is a Hartley Philodendron. This is one of the first houseplants that I got. My friends from work gave it to me when I moved into my house, and it was like a housewarming present, and it was so small. It was really, really super small, but it has grown so much since then. I've had it for about a year and a bit now. This one is a little succulent string of bananas that someone from my life group from church gave to me. I also have some plant books here as well. I have another, that's the same plant style. It's the same book that I have on my coffee table. I bought another one. I didn't realize I had another one of it already, and I bought another one, but you know what? It's a nice little styling moment. And then here I have 3 books, Houseplants, Cacti, and The Healing Power of Plants. Now this one here, I think it's a silver satin ribbon, satin streak. I don't know what kind of plant it is, but it's clearly not very happy. I've tried everything, but I'm probably gonna cut it down and take it out of there because it's dying. It's okay. You keep some plants, you lose some plants. Fortunately, I tend to grow my plants more than I lose them, so that's pretty good. So that's one shelf there. Moving on to this shelf. This is my string of hearts. This is one of my very first plants that I ever got, and this string of hearts was literally just like 2 strings in the bottom of that pot. But now look at it. So stunning, so pretty. Look at this, so much new growth coming out. It's so beautiful, it just keeps on going. So yeah, this is one of my favorite plants of all time. It's just so happy. This one is a, what is this? This is a Pixie, I'm gonna have to look at that. I know the name of this, Syngonium, that's it. It's a Pixie Syngonium plant. I probably actually need to water that, but look how cute those little leaves are. So freaking pretty. It's not really growing very much for me. I think I need to take a bit more better care of it and put it in another spot where it'll start to give me some new growth. Here I have some more books. I have some more books. Styling, another little styling moment there. Leaf Supply and Urban Botanics. And then this one is my mother plant. This one is my Golden Pothos Devil's Ivy. Now I did show on my Instagram a few, I think it was a week ago or something, where I cut the long trailing vines off of this because it was starting to get kind of leggy, and I put the cuttings back into the mother plant to make it more full at the top and to grow out even more. And so far it's doing pretty well. I don't think I've lost any of the cuttings from what I can see. They're all rooting in it pretty well. And because I chopped off a lot, like I chopped off a lot of this, it's starting to give it new growth at the bottom there as well. A lot more energy is being focused to the bottoms of these vines, so it's definitely giving me a lot more growth. And I've taken it down from the shelf, had a look at it last night, and it's given me a lot more new sprouts and leaves around the plant itself as well. So I absolutely really love this Devil's Ivy. It's so easy to take care of for houseplant beginners. Definitely look into buying a Devil's Ivy Golden Pothos because this one is so easy to take care of. So that's my second shelf. We're gonna move down here now. Now, this is one of my absolute favorite corners of the house. Now, I was talking about those elephant's ear alocasias before. I actually got a whole bunch of this, like 2 massive cuttings of this from a lady in town. And I lost all the leaves except for this one. This is the only one that survived. But since then, and I've had this for about 3 or 4 months now, since then, this new leaf has come up, this new leaf has come up. This is a new leaf as well. This was an existing leaf, but I've just seen this now. Look at this. There's a new leaf. Can you please focus? There is a new leaf coming out of this one as well, so I'm so happy. I love finding new leaves on this plant. Oh, so stunning, so pretty. It has another little leaf down here. Not quite sure what this one's doing. It's not really, it's kind of tattered, but I'm hoping that it'll start to sprout a new growth from here. But that's my elephant's ear alocasia. I just love that plant so much, and when it gives me new leaves, it just makes me so happy. All right, moving on. This one is a golden ginger, I think it is. It's an green Asian plant. This is another one that I bought on reduced from Bunnings Warehouse, and it took me a little bit of time to get it going again, but so far so good. It hasn't died on me yet, and I don't think it's going to. This one actually wants lots of water. It loves to always have its soil quite damp, so that's kind of what I discovered. Bit of trial and error with that one. This one is a Parlor Palm. I got this one from the Sunday market as well, and actually got it quite affordable. There is a lot of new growth coming out on this one as well. The lighter colored leaves is all the new growth, and I absolutely love this Parlor Palm. It's getting so much bigger than it was when I first got it. This one's a bird of paradise. It's given me a few new leaves since I got it. I got it at the same time as this one from the Sunday market, and it's not given me a lot of new leaves, but it's given me a couple since I got it. Nothing major, but I'm thinking maybe I need to move it to a spot where there's a lot more morning light, so it'll give me some more new leaves. But it's going well, it's happy, it seems to be thriving, and it's not dying, so that's good. Now, this is one of my very first plants that I ever got. This one is a Monstera Deliciosa. This one has recently given, oh, it's so bright again. This one has given me a couple new leaves in the last week or so. There's a new one. It hasn't quite hardened yet. This one has just unfurled in the last day or so, so it's still hardening up. This leaf is so beautiful. Look at those fenestrations. Look at those. It's so pretty. I can't wait to get those really big leaves with all these fenestrations in them, but that one's so pretty. Let's see if we can find any new leaves on this plant. I've recently cut off some of the older leaves off it because it'd have more energy to grow the newer leaves. That one's, no, that's not a new leaf. Ooh, There's a new one coming out. So exciting. I love finding new leaves on these plants. It's just always so exciting. Look at that leaf. So stunning, so beautiful. Now, if you guys wanted a plant care video, I might be able to do that one, but in a separate video. I'm not gonna be able to cover it all in one video, but that's only if you want to. Also remembering that I do makeup on this channel, not plants, so if you guys really want to do a plant care video, I can do one. You just gotta ask the question so I know what to answer. All right, this one is my Fiddle leaf fig tree. This is also one that I got on reduced from Bunnings Warehouse. And this was, I've had this for almost a year now. And this plant was, I got this plant for $35. It was really small. It looked really super sad. But since then, it's given me so many new leaves. Look at this one. This is a new leaf. I think on this particular stalk here, from here is all new leaves since I've got it. Look at those leaves. So pretty. Let's see if we can find any new leaves on this one. Ooh, there's a new one coming out there. This one just absolutely loves the morning light. I have it in this window all the time and it absolutely loves the morning light. Ooh, there's a new leaf coming out there. I get an infestation of mealybugs on this one every so often, so I have to keep an eye on it and just give it a good spray down with neem oil every so often. Just take it outside and give it a good hose down, bit of a shower, and then spray it with neem oil again, and it's usually fine again after that. So yeah, that is my fiddle leaf fig tree. Moving on to here is another Monstera Deliciosa. Now, this one's a fairly new one to my collection as well. I loved this particular plant so much because it was coming out with a lot of new growth. There's one there. This, what's it? This leaf was, oh, is that leaf? This leaf. This leaf was new when I bought it. If you look carefully in the pot, there's 3 plants in the one pot as well, so I'll be able to separate it when it gets bigger. Monstera Deliciosa is also fairly easy to take care of. As long as you give it lots and lots of light, that's it. It's happy. All right, let's move up here to my kitchen now. Excuse the kitchen, I have dishes. It's a bit of a mess. I cooked dinner for some friends last night. But this spot here, this is not where these plants live. It's just that this is the spot where these plants are happy. So I leave them there, even though that's not really where I want them to live, because it's not a styled space. But my whole kitchen isn't a styled space. I mean, look at it. It needs some updating. But anyway, this is another Monstera Deliciosa. I have 3 of these plants. Oh, 4 of these plants now, actually. This was given to me by a friend in my life group. She gave me this plant with a very, very lovely, lovely letter. Very encouraging. And yeah, this one's still fairly small. None of the leaves have fenestrations on them yet. I always love seeing the growth that these plants have. Now, right now, it's really small, but it'll get bigger. And that brings me to this plant. I've had this one for about a year now. This one is a Ficus Tineki? I don't know. I think that's how you say it. It's a ficus, and this plant was really super small when I bought it. It was like, this was down here, this was down here. It was very, very small. I think I got this plant for $12 a year ago. And since then, it's given me so many new leaves, and I love the foliage on this plant. Look at this. Look how pretty that leaf is. It's like a painting. Look at that. So pretty. Stunning. It has a bit of pink on it as well. It only gets the pink on it when it's got a lot of light. Look at the pink on that. It's so cute. All right, over here, I have a Peperomia Jade. This one is a string of turtles. This one's a fairly new plant to me. I don't quite know how to take care of it yet, but it hasn't shriveled up and died just yet, so it seems to be liking what I'm doing to it, which is basically nothing. It's quite dry. I need to give it a water, but I'm gonna water it from the bottom. I'm gonna bottom water it so I don't drown it. So yeah, that one is so cute though. Look at those little leaves. They look like little turtles on a string. So cute. All right, over here, this is not much to see, but this plant actually belongs to my mom. I saw she had these cuttings in a pot and they just weren't growing and they weren't growing. They were just kind of like stagnant type of cuttings. So I told her I would take them and put them in a pot and grow them for her. And they haven't done much for me either, but I'm hoping that with the warmer months, they will start to shoot out a few more leaves. So yeah, hopefully this one grows for me and I don't kill it because it's actually my mom's plant. Alright, so those are all my plants in my dining room area. Now I'm going to move to this part of the house. My filming room, which is very, very messy right now. I have sorry about the mess, guys. I'm so sorry about the mess. I have another ZZ plant. You can't see it because it is so dark in here. Hang on. All right, so that's a bit better. But this is my ZZ plant. This one has grown so much since I put it in this room where it's so dark. It thrives in the dark. I hardly ever water this plant ever. Look at this leaf. It gave me like a tiny little bit of variegation in the leaf, but it didn't repeat on any of the others. So it was probably just like a little blip, just a little blip in the life of this plant. But look at it. It's so pretty, so glossy, so beautiful. And this is the only plant that I keep here in my filming room because it's just too dark to have any plants in here at all. And this is literally the only plant that will survive in such a room that's as dark and as cold as this. All right, here in my entryway, this isn't a table that I'm gonna keep here. It's just a table to put my keys on. I put my keys in there. And this little, not quite sure what this is. I think it's a Sansevieria. Just have it here because it's a low light area and this plant can survive in lower light. But look how beautiful it is. Look at those leaves. So stunning. And I think it's got a new little baby popping up on this side too. Yep, new little baby right there coming through. So yeah, that one's coming through there. And I think it has another new little one coming out somewhere. Oh, right there. There's a new little one coming out there too. So this plant seems to love it in this corner. This one I got from the Sunday market as well. Now, let's move on to the rest of the house. I still got more plants to show you. All right, moving down here into my hallway, I have these two here. Now, these are Congo Philodendrons. This is another plant for me that doesn't really die and it doesn't really thrive and it's just kind of existing. But in the last month or so, it has given me, that's a new leaf, I think that's coming out. Ooh, there's one new leaf coming out there. But this one also had a bit of that philodendron disease. I don't know what it is, what those little spots are, but I've had to chop this plant back so much and I've only managed to keep those leaves there. It hasn't spread to the new leaf, it looks like, which is good. Ooh, that's a beautiful color. All right. And this plant, I don't know, this is another one of those plants that's just kind of exists within my house, but it doesn't die and it doesn't thrive. So I kind of just put it here. It seems to be okay here in the hallway. It's not a very super brightly lit area. It gets the light from that window over there, but I don't know. I don't know what to do with these Congo Philodendrons. They just kind of exist. What kind of life is that? Don't you want to thrive and live your life to the fullest? Why would you just exist? I don't know. Maybe I need to give them better care. Who knows? But I've tried. I've fed them. I've trimmed them. I don't know. Whatever. All right, let's go into the bedroom. All right, guys. So this is my bedroom. And this is where I have all the plants that I just like love so much. Well, I love all of them, but let's just go and look through them one by one. All right, so this is one of my favorite plants. Well, I love all of them, but this one especially. This one just makes me feel some type of way. Like, look at those leaves. Look how beautiful and glossy and stunning it is. And it's constantly, even through the colder months, it is constantly giving me new growth. There's that one, there's that one, there's that one. And this one has grown so much since I first got it. I think my friend gave it to me, this one. I don't quite remember where I got it from. But yeah, this is a variety of Calathea or Sitanthi? I don't know how you say it, but that one's such a beautiful one. Don't mind my mess of makeup and skincare. This one is a Calathea Freddy. This one, I'm not quite sure. It's here near the humidifier, so it hasn't quite died on me yet, but it's not exactly looking its best and biggest and brightest, but it hasn't died yet, so that's good. I love it. I like this plant, but it's not really finding a spot in my heart, really. Maybe because it's just not really as vibrant as I would like it to be. This is another one of those plants, this Alocasia. I think it's an Alocasia poly. This one has kind of struggled through the winter, but it hasn't died either. It's given me a new little leaf there, so I know it's not dying. It's continued to grow. This one is a zebra plant. It is so stunning. I'm not quite sure what the scientific name for it is, but look at that foliage. Look at it. Look at it. So freaking pretty. And it's always giving me new growth too. Look at that. It loves it here next to the humidifier. And look at that. I don't even know if this video has been in focus the whole time, but anyway. This one is a Calathea Peacock living here in the depths of the humidifier. I constantly have this humidifier on throughout the day. This one I bought when it was really super small, and it is still kind of super small. It hasn't really grown by leaps and bounds, but that one's a new leaf, so that's good. As long as my plants are giving me new leaves, I'm okay. I'm okay. This one is a very precious plant to me. This one is a Ficus Burgundy as well. I got this one from the Sunday market. This plant has sentimental value to me, and I might tell you guys why in some upcoming videos or in a life update, which I will do eventually, but not quite ready to share that part of my life right now. But this plant is very sentimental to me. I love the leaves on it. It's just so beautiful and so stunning. Look at that. She's so beautiful. I love you. She's so beautiful. I have another fiddly fig down here. I got this plant on discount from Bunnings Warehouse, and it has since given me some new leaves, so it seems to like what I'm giving it. Morning sun, worm castings, sea salt, bottom watering. I take really good care of my plants, tell you what. All right, down here I have another Peperomia. I love the leaves on this. Look how cute those little leaves are. They're very waxy and like they almost feel succulent-y, but prettier than succulents. It's almost like a watermelon Peperomia, but not quite. I'm still looking for my dream watermelon Peperomia plant, but this one is so pretty. It has a lot of new little pups coming out, lots of new little leaves coming out, so love that one. On this shelf here I have more Peperomia. This one I got from a nursery of a like tiny little town that I went on a day trip, and we were just passing through it, and I stopped at the nursery and picked up this little plant. It's got so many new little pups coming out from it. This Peperomia is so stunning. I love the leaves on it. They're just so freaking pretty. Very cute. This one is a Peperomia that I bought online or survived, but it is giving me a few little new leaves there, but it's not really thriving, so I don't know. It hasn't died yet, so that's good. It's just kind of existing, kind of. And this one here, this is another Peperomia I'm not super in love with. The leaves are kind of going yellow, so I'm not quite sure what I'm doing wrong with this one. Maybe it's not getting enough sunlight, maybe. See that leaf there? It's just going yellow, but when it's not going yellow, that's what the leaves look like. So cute. I might put it in a spot where there's a bit more light actually, so I'll put it up here. All right, this one is a silver satin Pothos. This one is a very slow growing plant. It's easy to take care of, but it's given me two new leaves. I've had this for several months now, kind of just like ticking along. I love the foliage on this. Look at that leaf. It is so pretty. It's almost got this satiny feel to it. I think it's a Scindapsus pictus. I'm not sure if that's the actual name of it. I could be very wrong. I've got another Calathea here. That's the same as that one there. That one there. I loved it so much that I bought a second one, and she's giving me new growth there as well. Up the back here, I have a Homalomina. I'm not quite sure what variety of plant this is. This is the only kind of plant I have that's in this variety, but I bought it because of the leaves. It's like a painting. Kind of looks like a really pretty frog. I hate frogs. The leaf on this is so beautiful. Look at that leaf. Look at that stunning leaf. That's a new leaf too, by the way. That one there. Up here, I have a pink Princess Philodendron. Oh, my arms aren't long enough for this. I don't have much pink on it. That's probably the only leaf I have that's got some pink on it. This one's got a few speckles. I'm still waiting for like some real pink to come out. Maybe it's reverted. I feel like this plant might have reverted back to its original whatever it is. It's given me a couple new leaves. That one's a new leaf. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with it. It looks really sick and mottled. I'm not sure if that's the variegation or just something wrong with the leaf, but that's another new leaf. It has a tiny little sliver of pink on it. Tiny little sliver of pink. Will you please focus? Focus, dude. All right, there we go. Tiny little slither of pink on it. Not much though. And then there's another new leaf trying to pop out. Just trying to pop out. This one takes forever to unfurl, so that leaf's probably gonna take a while to come out. So yeah, that's my pink Princess Philodendron, which isn't very pink. Let's put her back up there. And then up the top there, and then up the top here, I have another silver satin Philodendron. Now this one's getting a lot of new growth. There's a new leaf coming out there. So many new leaves coming out on this one. I got this one from Bunnings. And then down here in this corner, back down to this corner, this one is my pride and joy. My absolute pride and joy. This is one of the very first plants that I ever bought when I moved into my house. And it's always constantly giving me new leaves, new growth, and it's always got a new one coming out, even in the colder months. It must like all the morning light it gets from this window here. Here is another Monstera Deliciosa. I just love this plant. I got this one because it was on discount as well from Bunnings. I think it was like $5, and I had to cut off a couple leaves that were a bit manky, but these two leaves were fine, and now it's giving me another new leaf. Leo, please focus. Another new leaf right there. So I don't even know what's wrong with this. Why is it not focusing? I can't wait till this one gets big. And these ones are fairly fast growers too in the warmer months. This one is another Peperomia. Now this one was a large, spindly, tall plant when I first got it. So what I did was I chopped it all the way back down, and every little cutting that had a node in it, I just stuck it back into the soil. This one didn't die because the leaves retain a fair bit of water, so they do grow quite shallow in the soil as well. So kind of really love the way that it looks. It's so freaking pretty. That's my Ficus Burgundy, one of my biggest, most luscious, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful plants. I love it so much. I dust off the leaves a fair bit as well. I have to dust off the leaves so that they can pick up the sun when it comes through. These leaves are meant to be a dark burgundy red, but it seems to have reverted back to its normal green, which I don't actually mind. I still love the way that it looks. All right, this little collection here in my window. This one is a little Alocasia that I purchased. It was a tiny little seedling. I think it was $5 when I got it. And since then, that was the only leaf it had, or one of a few leaves it had when I first purchased it. And since then, it's given me a few, like these 3 leaves here. Look how pretty they are. So cute. Like, I'm not entirely sure what variety of Alocasia this is, but it's an Alocasia nonetheless, and it seems to be quite happy giving me some new leaves, like a lot of new leaves. So this one is a little Ficus Burgundy as well. It's a baby one of this big one here. I bought this as a little seedling as well. See, that's what the leaves are supposed to look like, a burgundy ficus, but it's still really small, so it might take some time to grow as big as this. I know it's going to take some time to grow as big as that, but not quite sure if that's a leaf just dying or that's its actual color. Oh no, it's dying. But look at those stunning glossy little leaves. Look how cute they are. They're so little compared to this one here. Look, big one, little one. Mommy, baby. I talk to my plants. I am a crazy plant lady. This one is another Syngonium, but this one is a pink one, I think. Yeah, it's got a little touch of pink there, but I feel like it's reverted back into its normal green because there's not a whole lot of pink on it. But this one I bought again as another little $5 seedling, but since then it keeps giving me little leaves. It's not a very, very fast grower. I feel like when they're really small, they don't grow very fast at all, but when they reach a point where they're kind of like maybe like an adolescent plant, maybe this size, that's when they start to give a lot of new shoots because they're a little bit more established. So if you buy little plants like this, you just got to be patient. They don't grow super, super quickly. Like, it's just the way it goes. Everything takes time. Now this is a money plant. I think it's a Peperomia or Peperomia. I'm not entirely sure what variety it is, but this one is one of those plants that refused to die. I bought it off Facebook Marketplace. It was back to like literally the stub of a plant. It kept holding on to like one leaf at a time, and I just couldn't throw it out. I couldn't bring myself to throw it out because it was kind of like dying but struggling to live. Like, it had such a will to live, and since then it's given me all these new leaves. So I'm hoping that it's kind of past its dying point and it'll just keep growing from here on out, but there's a new little bit of growth coming out there as well. All right, this is quite disgusting because of these flycatchers, but not quite sure what this one is. This one's another one of those plants. It's so small, it's not quite thriving, but it's still giving me new growth, very, very, very slowly, but new growth nonetheless. This one is a mother-in-law's tongue. It's a very hardy plant. I've had it in some very dark corners of the house, but then I felt bad for it, so I put it here in the window just to give it some light. Now this one is my Monstera Deliciosa. It was a really super long vine, and I think I did show it on my Instagram when I cut it back and stuck all the nodes into the soil here. Now it looks like I'm losing a few cuttings because that one's going yellow, that one's going yellow, that one's going yellow, that one, and that one. But I feel like all the other ones might be taking root. Maybe, hopefully, I don't know. It's a bit of an experiment. It was a really long and leggy vine, and I didn't really like the way it looked. I love the way a plant looks when it's really lush and full at the top, so I didn't like it the way it looked before when it was just one single plant in the pot. So I put it in the pot, and if I lost it, I lost it, and if it grew, if it succeeded, then I would definitely like the plant a whole lot better if this succeeded. Fingers crossed that it still continues to take root and to grow. But I will update you guys probably on Instagram with this one in the next several months. Okay, up here in the window, this is another golden pothos that I took cuttings of from the mother plant, that really big plant I have in the dining room. And I just stuck all the cuttings into this pot, and they all seem to be taking. So when this plant gets bigger, I will have another really super full devil's ivy plant there. This one is a marble queen. I love the leaves on this. She doesn't really seem to grow very quickly for me. She's given me a few little leaves right there, like new growth. But I do love this one. Marble queen is very pretty. Love the leaves. This one is a Brazil philodendron. This one is going really super well. Is it a philodendron or a pothos? I'm not quite sure. But it's got a new leaf coming out there. It's got some little air roots coming out there. This is one long vining plant in the pot, but I wound the vine and its nodes into the soil so the nodes would take to the soil. It's a method of propagation to be able to get a fuller plant up the top. So that is my Brazil philodendron. That concludes the plants here in my bedroom. You will see this scene fairly often on my Instagram because I love to update on my Instagram about my plants. To be fairly honest, I probably update a lot more about my plants in actual makeup on my Instagram, but it is just another part of me that I actually really super love. All right, here in my laundry room, I have a few random plants. I have another Syngonium. This one I got as a cutting from a friend's backyard. This one, I'm kind of struggling to figure out its needs and its wants, but once I do figure it out, apparently this is a very fast growing plant, and I'm really crossing my fingers that it survives because look how pretty these leaves are. It's a mixture of pink and green, and it's just so pretty. So I'm hoping that this one survives. This one is a Rattlesnake Calathea. It's got one new leaf there. It's not a very fast growing plant for me. I'm kind of struggling with this one at the moment. And then I have another mother-in-law's tongue there, Severia. And here in my window, this is not really where it lives, but this is where I've kept it for now because I was watering it and I just kept it in. I haven't put it back in its proper space. But this one is a Birkin Philodendron, and look at those stunning leaves. Love it so much. A lot of new little growth coming out there as well, and they're all like white like they're supposed to be. Look at that little leaf. How precious. Look at this little precious. It's so little precious. It's so cute and precious. Yes, I talk to my plants, sorry. This isn't exactly what I feed to my plants all the time. I just saw it at Bunnings and I thought it looked really good. But generally I feed them sea salt. I'm just trying that one out and seeing it how it goes. This lighting is terrible. This angle is even worse. But that concludes this video. Thank you guys for watching my plant tour collection. I'm really happy that I finally got to share it with you guys. Like, I've had a lot of people requesting this video actually on my Instagram, so here it is. Finally got to share it with you guys, and I will be back to some makeup looks in my coming videos this month. I'm hoping to be able, well, I'm trying. I'm doing my best, but I do want to try and upload 3 times a week this month and see how I go. One of those videos being my usual swatch videos for the month. Yeah, we'll see how I go. I want to talk all about it in another video, just how YouTube is going for me in general. Yeah, just update you guys on what's going on there, but I forgot what the whole point of that was. But I'm gonna try and get 3 videos out a week this month and see how I go. I don't know. We'll see how I go. At this point, I'm just really barely holding on getting those videos out there, but I'm gonna try and push myself for you guys, and I really do want to get those Halloween looks out there for you. They just might be as big and bold and outrageous as my previous year's Halloween looks have been. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much. If you love plants, I hope you enjoyed this video. They are my pride and joy. I love taking care of them. It can be a lot of work at times, but they don't all need the same care all at once. So if I just stay on top of it, a few plants here and there, I've managed to keep them all alive, and I will continue to add to my collection. I don't care what anyone says. I love my plants. They're my babies. A lot of them, majority of them, seem to give me love back. So if you are a houseplant lover, then you'll understand the joy that I feel when I'm looking at these plants. So anyway, yeah, that's really it for this video. Thanks guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.